I wasted 40 years of my life, on things that never mattered. Deep sigh. And the worst part, I knew it, somewhere deep down. I knew it the whole time. I just didn't want to admit it. I'm 94 years old. 94. Chuckle softly. Most people don't make it this far. And honestly, some days I wonder if making it this far is a blessing or a punishment. Because when you live this long, you don't just remember your life, you feel every single mistake you ever made sitting right here in your chest like a stone that never goes away. Pause. I've buried my wife. I've buried friends I thought would be around forever. I've watched my children grow old. Looks away. I've watched the world change into something I barely recognize. But you know what hasn't changed? Pause. Regret. Regret feels exactly the same at 94 as it did at 40. The only difference is, at 40, you still have time to fix it. At my age, shakes head slowly. All you can do is sit here and hope that someone out there hears what I'm about to say and doesn't make the same mistakes I did. Lean slightly forward. So if you're watching this right now, whether you're 25 or 35 or 50, I need you to listen to me. Not the way you listen to background noise while you're scrolling on your phone. Really listen. Pause. Because I'm going to tell you about three things. Three things I wasted my life on. Three things that stole my time, my peace, and the people I love most. And I'm telling you this not because I want your pity. Pause. No, I'm telling you this because if I can stop even one person from waking up at 94 with this kind of weight on their heart, voice trembles slightly, then maybe all those wasted years meant something after all. Sits back slowly, takes a breath. Let's start with the first one. And this one, pause. This one still keeps me up at night. The first thing I wasted my life on was trying to prove myself to people who didn't care. Pause. When I was young, 26, 27, I had this fire in me, this hunger. I wanted people to respect me. I wanted them to look at me and say, now that's a man who made something of himself. Chuckles softly. Sounds noble, right? Sounds like ambition, but it wasn't ambition. Shakes head. It was fear. I was terrified, absolutely terrified that I wasn't enough. So I worked, and I worked, and I worked some more. 60, 70 hours a week. I missed dinners, I missed birthdays, I missed my little girl's first steps because I was in an office trying to impress a man whose name I can't even remember anymore. Pause. And the thing about trying to prove yourself is that it never ends. You hit one goal, and there's another one waiting. You get the promotion, and suddenly you need the next one. You buy the house, and now you need the bigger house. It's a race. Looks away, with no finish line, and you don't realize that until your legs give out. Deep sigh. I believed the lie that my worth was measured by what I achieved, by what I owned, by what other people thought of me. And Society was happy to keep feeding me that lie. Every billboard, every magazine, every conversation at every dinner party, it all said the same thing: more, be more, do more, have more. Pause. And so I chased, and I chased. And I caught a lot of things along the way. Nods slowly. I had the career. I had the nice car. I had the corner office. But you know what I didn't have? Voice drops lower. I didn't have my family. Not really. I had their faces at the breakfast table, but I didn't have their hearts because I was never really there. My body was in the room, but my mind was already at work, already planning, already chasing the next thing. Pause. I was so busy proving I was somebody that I forgot to just be somebody's father, somebody's husband, somebody's friend. Shakes head slowly. And that was the great illusion. I remember the exact moment it hit me. The exact moment I realized what I'd done. Pause. It was a Tuesday, November. I remember because it was cold, and the leaves had already fallen off the big oak tree in our front yard. My daughter Karen, She was about 14 at the time, and she came into the kitchen while I was packing my briefcase for work. Early morning, the sun wasn't even up yet. She stood there in the doorway, in her pajamas, and she said, pause, Dad, are you coming to my play tonight? Looks down, and I didn't even look up. I just said, I'll try, sweetheart. Pause. That's what I always said. I'll try. Which really meant no, but I don't want to feel guilty about it. Deep sigh. I didn't go to the play. I had a meeting about quarterly numbers that I cannot recall a single detail of today. Not one. But here's the part that broke me. Voice wavers. I came home that night late, and my wife Dorothy was sitting at the kitchen table, alone, and she looked at me with these eyes, not angry. That's what got me. She wasn't angry. She was just done, tired, like she'd already grieved the man she married and accepted that he wasn't coming back. Pause. And she said to me very quietly, Frank, Karen didn't look for you in the audience tonight. Pause. She stopped looking for you a long time ago. Long pause, looks away. I stood there in that kitchen, holding my briefcase full of papers that meant nothing, and I felt my whole life crack open, right down the middle. Shakes head slowly. You know, people talk about rock bottom like it's some dramatic event, an explosion, a disaster. But sometimes rock bottom is just a quiet sentence from someone who loved you and finally gave up trying to reach you. Pause. That night, I sat in my car in the driveway for over an hour, just sitting, thinking about every play I missed, every bedtime story I didn't read, every Sunday morning I spent at the office instead of at the breakfast table with my girls. Voice breaks slightly, and I asked myself, what are you doing, Frank? What are you doing? Pause. I wish I could tell you I changed overnight. I didn't. It took years. But that moment, that Tuesday night in November, that was the crack. That was when the light finally got in. So let me tell you now, the three things. The three things I beg you not to waste your life on. Leans forward slowly. Number one, stop living for other people's approval. Pause. I don't care if it's your boss, your parents, your neighbors, that person on the internet you've never even met. If you are building your life around what other people think of you, you are building a prison, and you are locking yourself inside it every single day. The people whose approval you're chasing right now, pause, most of them won't be at your funeral. I'm sorry, but it's the truth. The only opinions that matter are the ones sitting across from you at the dinner table tonight. Everyone else is background noise. Pause. Number two, stop postponing love. Deep sigh. And I don't just mean romance. I mean, stop putting off the people who matter. Stop saying, I'll call them tomorrow. Stop saying, we'll get together soon. Stop saying, I'll make it up to them. Shakes head. Because tomorrow turns into next week turns into next month, and next month turns into standing over a grave wishing you had one more afternoon. Just one. Voice drops. My wife, Dorothy, she passed away 11 years ago, and you know what haunts me? It's not the big things, it's the small things. It's the mornings I could have just sat with her on the porch, drinking coffee, saying nothing, just being together. I had 10,000 mornings like that available to me. Pause, and I traded most of them for a desk and a paycheck. Don't do that. Please, don't do that. Pause. And number three, stop being afraid of being still. Pause. This one might surprise you, but I wasted years, decades, running from silence. I always needed to be busy, always needed a project, a goal, a distraction. Because when I was still, when everything got quiet, I had to face myself, and I didn't want to do that. Chuckles softly. The funny thing is, everything I was looking for out there, the peace, the meaning, the purpose, it was right here the whole time. Places hand on chest, right here. I just never sat still long enough to find it. Pause. You young people today, you're moving faster than any generation before you. Your phones are buzzing, your minds are racing, you've got 100 tabs open in your brain at all times. And I understand it, I do. The world demands it. But I'm telling you, from the other side of a very long life, pause. Slowness is not laziness. Stillness is not weakness. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is stop, sit down, look around, and ask yourself, am I where I want to be? Not in my career, not on some ladder, but in my soul. Am I where I want to be? Pause. If the answer is no, then you still have time. That's the gift I'm trying to give you right now, time. Don't waste it the way I did. Sits back slowly, looks out as if gazing through a window. You know, people ask me sometimes, Frank, if you could go back, would you do it all different? Long pause. And the answer is yes, God, yes, in a heartbeat. Voice trembles. I'd come home earlier. I'd hold my wife longer. I'd sit on the floor and play with my kids, even when I was tired, even when the work was calling. I'd let the phone ring. I'd let the emails wait. I'd look my daughter in the eyes and say, I'll be there tonight, front row. Pause, but I can't go back. Shakes head slowly. That's the cruel thing about time. It only moves in one direction, and it doesn't care if you're ready. Deep sigh. But you, looks directly into the camera. You're still in it. You're still in the middle of your story. The pages aren't written yet, and that is everything. Pause. So tonight, when you put your phone down and the house gets quiet, I want you to think about one thing, just one. Pause. Who in your life needs you to show up? Not tomorrow, not next week, tonight, right now. Go to them. Voice breaking slightly. Say what you need to say. Hold them, be there, not halfway, not with one eye on your phone, all the way there. Long pause. I'm 94 years old. I've got more life behind me than ahead of me. And if all of this gestures around slowly, if this whole conversation only reaches one person, only changes one mind, pause, then I didn't waste today. Small, gentle smile. And for an old man with a lot of regrets, that means more than you'll ever know. Looks down quietly, screen slowly fades to black.